Well, thank you so much for allowing me to come and share some stories with you today. It is a privilege to be here. And my talk is called The Power of Purpose in Life and Work. And before I get going, though, I want you to turn to somebody next to you and just give them a high five for being here. We know you guys gave up a lot of time. Yes. You gave up work, responsibilities, time with family, all those things that are really important to be here in this place. Maybe to hear this message or something today that could help change, inspire, motivate, or just help you to see something in a different way. And so I hope that that is true for you, and thank you so much for your time. So the power of purpose in life and work. Well, I'm going to begin by telling you my story. I was born with a heart defect that was so severe, the doctors pronounced me dead at birth. In fact, they spent over 9 minutes trying to resuscitate me, and after those 9 minutes, I came back on my own. And they gave me to my mom, and they said, take her, hold her, love her. Send her into heaven with love. Her heart is so damaged, there's no way she's going to be able to sustain life, so just make sure she knows she was loved. And my mom did that. She took me, she held me, she loved me, and she told me I was loved over and over and over again. And the doctors had given me minutes. Well, those minutes turned into hours, those hours turned into days, those days turned into weeks, those weeks turned into months, and at 6 months, the doctors wrote miracle across my charts because they couldn't explain how I was still alive. Yes. But I know how. And maybe, just maybe, the very thing that got my heart restarted that day could possibly restart your heart today. So here begins our talk of the power of purpose in life and work. Around the age of 3, I started having this reoccurring dream. And I had this dream that I was going through these series of challenges, only to wind up in this big grassy field with big, bold, bright sunshine. And as I was running towards it, I would say, I've got to go back. Well, at first, I didn't know what this dream was about, but I kept having it over and over and over again. And as I began to think about it, as I was growing up, I knew that my life was going to be short. The doctors said they didn't expect me to live beyond 12 because of my heart condition. And so I started to think, this is my heart talking to me. It's telling me I've got to figure out what my purpose is because I don't have much time. Well, around the same time, 5th grade or so, I met my gym teacher, my gym coach, Mr. Larson. And he taught me that the heart is a muscle, and if you use it, you strengthen it. And he encouraged me to start running. Well, the doctors always said light activity at best, and I was a little bit afraid of this, but there was just something about the look in his eye when he said, I believe in you, kid. You're going to do some great things that made me want to try. And so I started to run. And the doctors started to marvel at how my heart started to heal itself. And they moved my life expectancy from 12 to 18 to 24. And at 24, I ran my first marathon. And I decided that if I didn't die, that my heart would have healed itself. And I didn't die that day, of course. There were moments in time that I thought I might, but when I crossed that finish line, it may be the day that I first started to live. Because what I realized when I crossed that finish line, I had been given the gift of a second chance at life. But a gift is only as good as what you do with it. And so in that moment, I committed for the rest of my life that I wanted to help others. I wanted to pay it forward and help others to heal their hearts, to restart their hearts through health and wellness. And you know, the amazing thing happened. The minute I made that decision, the minute I changed my life to move in that direction, doors opened where only I knew walls before. Amazing opportunities placed themselves in front of me, unexplainable things that I can't tell you how they happened. I can only tell you that they happened. And I believe that when you're following your purpose, when you're living with meaning, when you're listening to your heart, life just shows you the way. So you may be thinking, well, this all sounds good, but I'm very busy. My life is busy. I've got family, I've got work, I've got all these things. I don't have time to focus on meaning right now. So that's why I put together 3 very simple things you can start today that don't take a lot of effort, but could truly change, move your life in a powerful direction. So the first thing is believe what you do matters. I'm a life coach for executives, and I meet with executives all the time who tell me, I've been in a job for 20, 30 years. I am so successful. I'm at the top of the ladder. I'm making great money. For all practical purposes, I have arrived. And yet, I don't love what I do. And so we sit and talk about it, and what we find is not so much the work that's not right. It's that they don't believe that their contribution matters. So all we have to do is figure out how to make sure that they feel what they're doing is valued and contributes to something bigger than themselves. You've got to believe that what you do matters. There's a great study that I found in which hospital janitors were surveyed, and they were asked what their favorite thing is about their job. Well, hospital janitor, it's a very important job. They remove biohazardous waste to keep us safe and healthy, but it may not always be the most glamorous. So they asked these janitors, what do you love most about your job? And you know what they said? They said, we love helping patients to heal. They said, when a patient is getting a shot in the arm, we're standing behind the doctor, doing a little dance, making the kid laugh, making the person laugh, getting their mind off of it. They also said, sometimes we're just the most consistent person that a person is going to see. We come and go each day, we remember their names, we remember their stories. It gives us great joy to bring somebody a little bit of positivity while they're sick. So why would they answer something that isn't on their job description, and certainly not something they get paid for, as the thing they love most about their job? It's because their work matters, because they feel that something they did contributed to somebody else that day. It was bigger than themselves. So just think about you. Not only could you take some of these ideas today and incorporate them into your life, but imagine if you took them back to your organizations and introduced meaning and purpose and some of these ideas. Imagine how much we could change in just the energy and the ebb and flow. Number 2, choose a powerful perspective. So I asked you to look at this slide here and tell me, do you see a lazy artist? Or do you see an opportunity for you to put your own colors and brushstrokes on the canvas? You see, each day we wake up and this is our life. This is what our life starts as. And we have a choice. You can choose to add your own colors and brushstrokes and make the most amazing masterpiece of your day. Or you can choose to let it be just another day. So the next time you're at a red light and you think, now I'm going to be late, change your perspective. Maybe you could think, now I have time to take a deep breath. Next time you miss an exit that you've taken 100 times before, instead of saying, I can't believe I missed that, maybe say, now I know a new way to get there. It's all in how you choose to see something that can move you forward in powerful ways and open up the doors for more meaning, more power, more purpose in your life. Choose a powerful perspective. And finally, start small. I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and quit their day jobs and to start this whole big new thing. Start with something small. Studies say that when we take bite-sized pieces of change or ideas and we incorporate them into our lives, over time we build these small habits that turn into big habits. But do them each and every day. So if you love to write, but your job is currently more analytical, maybe you could offer to start a newsletter at work. If you love community service, but your job has nothing to do with it, see if you can volunteer at work. Or if you love pets, but your apartment doesn't allow for them, see if you can volunteer at your local dog shelter once a month. It's about purposely putting small things into our life each day that give us joy, passion, and bring out the best in us. Start small. So there's a few of you in the room who are thinking, this all sounds great, but this isn't for me. You don't know my life. I've been through hardships. I've been through financial challenges. My family, somebody is sick. I am going through way too much to focus on this. And if that's you, I'd like to introduce you to Piper. Piper is a dog that was rescued from 166, it was a part of 166 dogs that were rescued from a hoarder's house back in December. They believe that there was severe neglect, possibly abuse. Piper was found in a very small cage in which they don't believe she ever got out of. So somewhere between 8 and 12 years, she lived in this very small cage. So she never had her back legs develop. So she has a very hard time walking. Piper also has a big tear in her ear. They're not sure where it came from. Piper also only has one eye. They don't know why. Piper's also deaf. Again, not sure why. Because of the neglect, Piper lost all of her teeth. So you would think that a dog that has been through this much trauma, this much tragedy throughout their whole life would probably be aggressive, maybe violent, not open to receiving love, maybe afraid in life. Isn't that just how we are sometimes? When life offers us something that isn't what we wanted, takes us down a path that is disappointing, feels like a failure, feels scary. Don't we harden ourselves and protect ourselves by putting up mechanisms, defense mechanisms, or walls so that other people can't get in? Well, I would have thought Piper would have been the same. But Piper is the most loving, kind animal I've ever met. So it made it really easy for me to adopt her. And my mom said, "You don't have time for this. This is a special needs dog. You need to spend a lot of time helping this dog." But the only thing I need is love. Because when I took Piper and I held her, and I told her over and over again that she was loved, just like my mom did the day I was born, things changed with Piper. The day I got her, she couldn't hardly walk. 5 days later, she was running in the snow. There's something really powerful about love. So if you find that your heart's been hardened or something has caused you to just put up walls or to feel a little bit closed off, I encourage you to soften. Be like Piper. Be open to receiving love and giving love, and it's amazing how much we can move in our lives. So as I conclude today, the last thing I wanted to share with you is that I spend time volunteering for an organization that grants wishes for children with life-threatening illnesses. And I've met and spent time with over 20 kids that we've helped to grant wishes for. And each child is amazing, and most of them make it through. A few of them do not. And there was one boy that I especially became close to, and I just thought the world of him. He was one of those guys that when he walked into a room, it lit up. Mr. Charisma, if you will. And you really knew that he had a special place in this world. Well, he ended up passing away even before he got his wish. I felt like a failure, and I also felt guilty. And I called my mother and I said, "Mom, why was this kid who is bigger than life? He had all these dreams in front of him. He was Mr. Positive. He could have changed the world. Why was he not given a second chance? But why was I?" And she said, "Julie, it's really easy. His work here was done. But you still have work left to do, just like my dream told me. And so do you. If you are sitting here in this room today, you still have work left to do. And if you can think about the things that give you passion, joy, purpose, all those things were specifically given to you to use. Maybe it'll even get your heart a little bit excited just to think about doing those things. And that's how I want you to feel today. So I want you to start small. Doesn't have to be anything big, something small each and every day. Choose a powerful perspective. And if you can do that and think about that your work matters and your life matters and the things you do matters, then you'll live an extraordinary, powerful, purposeful, and happy life. Thank you so much.